cool October day. Look at Baji. He's in a loaf bread mode. Look at that red in the leaves. It's a cool day. I've cracked the window some right now, but today is not sunny. Today is very cloudy and it is cold. I had the heat running a while ago, but then now I'm letting in some fresh air. And in fact, we are a little bit late, but here we are now. I will share the live onto my community tab channel and we will read Sad Cypress. We are actually on the very last part of the book, part 3, and we read till part 2 yesterday. So we actually made a lot of progress on the book and it has been wonderful reading it for you. And here is Baji. He's ready for the story to begin and we will continue reading today from Sad Cypress, the last part, part 3. We hope to see many of you here today. Sorry if we're late and you already went to bed. So sorry about that. And hopefully you'll see this live stream replay later on if that's the case. And we also hope to make new friends and also see our old friends here today on the live. And if you're joining, thank you so much for joining. And as usual, please dominate the chat as I read, and I will read your comments as well. So thank you so much for being here as usual. We have gone live. If you could share the live with any friends of yours, that would be amazing as well. We would like to grow this community and read as well as hang out with kitties together. So again, thank you so very much. Let me share the live and we'll get down to business as we have the last part of the book to finish today. And it should be pretty exciting. It should be very exciting indeed. And we will get through it. So here we are. Hi. 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 Hi, Baji. Say hi. Say hi to our friends. So I'll let you say hi to Baji. Hopefully the phone's not gonna fall. And I'm gonna go get my other device so that I can. Hi HBK, this is Baji, he is male. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Sight. Hi G. Hi HBK. Hi G. Hi, how are you? Thank you so very much for joining. This is Baji. So he is in a bit of a cuddly ball right now because he it's a cold October day. Hi Miss, says Mohammed Rakib Ghazi. Hi Mohammed. Muhammad Arifin says hello, greeting from Indonesia. Hello. Hello Indonesia. Sophia says is cat cute. Thank you, Sophia. Male cat behaves rudely. No, he's very sweet actually. Reagan says I'm gonna sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. YT Tuya says watching from Philippines. Philippines! Hello! What a beautiful cat, says Steve. Is he rude with you? He's not. He's very sweet. The cat is cute. Thank you. Fat cat. Oh, well. Dominic. He is pleasantly plump. Thank you so much. Could you please give Little Beansy, hi. NTP says Sophia. What's his name? His name is Baji. Not a prop. Hi, Kayla. Hi. Hi, Steve B. Hi. Hello from US and UK. Hello, UK. Hello, US. Hello, Indonesia. Hello, Philippines. You have a great voice. Oh, thank you so much, Racing Sport Rider. Beginning of Dreams. Hello. Hey, what's up? It's like a German cat's. He might be German. Baji, are you German? Your new friends are asking. I think they haven't seen you from this side before. So They are asking, are you German? Asking. I think I'm getting the live up on my iPad so I can actually share it with our channel here of friends while Baji gives you blink kisses. So Baji is, we think, mostly American because he's very docile. He's a little bit like the ragdoll cat in nature. He is very, very sweet and docile. Cat lover 2. I have one. She's name is Kappas. In English meant cotton. Oh, how nice. Kappas. I like that. I just subbed. You're amazing. Oh, thank you, Kayla. Oh, that is so kind. Baji is lazy, not now, in playful mode. Yes, well, you should have seen him just a bit ago. He actually, there was a croissant that I took out of a brown paper bag, and he ran with the bag. So he's tired because he was busy being naughty just a second ago. I took the so it's a chocolate-filled croissant, so I didn't want him to have it. And it was what I was eating after they had their lunch and everything. And he found the bag that it was in, and he picked it up in his mouth, and he stealthily started to run with the paper bag in his mouth. So that tells you something about him and his energy levels when he is stealing or hunting for human food. He only seems to hunt human food. He doesn't really hunt mice like his sister. Beginning of Dreams says Jai Shri Ram. Hi, Jai Shri Ram. My cat says German cat. Oh, good. So how is the German cat? Jai Shri Ram. Hope I meet this cat. Oh, where are you from? I'm in Boston. I'm originally from India. This cat is the best. Oh, thank you. Sure, I'll pin your message. Oh, I pinned the wrong one. Whoops. But it wasn't bad. Did you brush Baji's hair today? He brushed it himself, actually. He took very good care of himself today. I did not brush him myself today. Thank you so much. Love you too much. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Kayla. Cauldron's sister, Kimmy. Oh, how nice. I love your name. I thank you for the emojis. Nerop, maybe? Sorry about not being able to read that name properly. You can definitely correct me. Mike! I think Mike Hunt from Kolkata, right? Did you brush Baji's hair today? You know, Baji believes in self-care, and even if his hair is not brushed, it is perfect. Love your name too. Oh, thank you. Mike Hunt, did I get it right? Kolkata, right? Let's see. What other comments did I miss? We actually got a ton of comments just now, which we're very thankful about. Thank you so much all for joining. And if you had to leave, well, we miss you already. And we hope that you come back. Sometimes we have people joining who then come back on a different phone or device. And I get to see all their different usernames. And it can be quite fun to sometimes guess who you are, because it is you, our friend, but from a different phone or device. And from your comments and way in which you chat, I sometimes am able to tell who you are still. So it's quite a bit of a talent I have with that. I'm here for the pujo. Oh, how is pujo? Ajke ki doshami? Ajke doshami hoye gelo na? Oh my God, Bijoya Dashami. Everyone, shobaike bhalobasha and pranam. So today is, I think, our festival, autumnal festival in Kolkata is kind of wrapping up at this time, and we always say the best wishes to everybody at this time. So that's what I just told Mike Hunt. Greetings from Russia with love. I love cats. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the live, Russia. Greetings to you too, with love. Thank you for loving cats. Molly Love says kitty, and Mike Hunt says ha. So today is Doshami, Mike Hunt. I'm not keeping up because it's a little sad for me to miss Durga Puja, although I still get hints of what's happening in Kolkata from various extended family members. So sorry to miss Kolkata's Pujo, but hopefully you had a good time. I mean, Kolkata is quite a yes. So you just saw Fuji. He has been getting into a lot of trouble. He too was after my breakfast today, and I didn't let him lick because it has chocolate in it. And so now he has retired upstairs, maybe for now. He might be going to go say hi to Suji. I see Baji's sibling. I love how you type, Kayla. This is so nice of you. So, yeah, I am so happy to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We have 11:11 in the live stream, 11 people and 11 likes. Thank you so much for liking the live and for joining. And if you can share the live, that would be also amazing. আপনার পুজো সেলিব্রেশন কেমন ছিল ওখানে? Well, you know, I did not make friends enough with the Boston Puja organizers this year because I've been, well, this year was kind of a blur. For next year, I must, well, maybe even for Saraswati Pujo, I must make better friends with the organizers, so I will actually take a part in the pujo here. There are puja celebrations in Boston with Bengalis because Bengalis are everywhere, but I need to take a bit more of an active participation in the in the celebrations in order to join them. Kumbh Karan says, hello, hello. Amar Pujo celebration. Oh yeah, Apnar. I have 4 cats and 2 Maine Coons. Oh wow, 2 Maine Coons. So Baji has decided to come onto my lap. He is getting settled in my lap because he has full monopoly at the moment. His siblings have gone upstairs. So Baji has decided, why not take the lap because he can. It is free. It's real estate that he can claim at this time. I love this woman. So patient and calm. And her cat's so cute. I just want to see them and give a hug. And thank you, everyone. Please subscribe. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kayla. That is so kind of you. I love this woman, so patient and calm. Me, my brothers, and my mom have 12. Molly! You and your brothers and mom have 12 cats? Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so very much for taking care of 12 cats, Molly. That's so very nice of you all. Thank you so very much. I love to hear that kitty cats have nice home and people are taking care of them. So this one, for example, loves to get cuddles and snuggles, and he actually loves to put coconut oil on. So sometimes when I put coconut oil in my hair, he also wants it. Speaking of brushing his hair, Mike, I had dogs. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kayla. I'm trying to get a dog this year. Oh, very good. I'm going to pin this comment. I love it. The one about the cat's cute and the patient and the calm. So I wasn't always so patient and calm, but I think life taught me to be patient and calm. And also when I'm with the kitty cats, you know, they're so loving and nice. And you all, with all your support too, I feel very nice and calm. So thank you. But yes, so if we are cuddled and snuggled enough, we might jump into the book. So today we have a very important thing to do, which is to finish reading from this book right here. So this is Sad Cypress by Agatha Christie, and lo and behold, we are already on the last part of the book, part 3. Well, at least that's what I think. I think there's only 3 parts, and we are on this part, part 3. So we actually, reading time. I love you, Kayla. Your comments are so nice. Book. Yes, yes, book. I have a dragon. Wow. Lankapati Ravan says that they have a dragon. Oh, how nice. Love you lots. You got the same energy as me. Thank you. I know. Libra energy, justice energy. I don't know what to say. My birthday is this coming week. So I'm in a good mood. I always celebrate my birthday very well, even if there are challenges. But I think our birthdays are very important. If you feel like sharing your own birthday, go ahead. We would love to wish you if you're an October baby yourself. So when is your birthday? October 17th. When is yours, Kayla? Oh, and I love your profile picture. November 18. Oh, wow. My goodness, that's lovely. My grandmother's birthday used to be November 17th. It was around that time. She was a little unsure exactly which day her birthday was. It might have been November 18th. 3 days to go. Yeah. Love from Lund. Oh, hi. Thank you. My birthday is the 5th of January. Hi, Laya. Boss her sleep monster. How are you? Hello to you too. Thank you for tagging me and tagging Baji. What am I saying? Baji, the handsome cat. I was going to say Baji, the handsome, but I said Baji. Well, that works. 5th of January, so is that a Capricorn? Capricorns are very hardworking. Very, very hardworking people. My grandfather was one. Birthday's on November 18th. Happy early birthday to Molly Love. I feel like you and I are fall birthdays. I love October and November birthdays or even December birthdays because it's the fall time. And at least over here in North America, it can be a very pretty time of the year. Halloween is coming. Lankapati says Halloween. Yes, Halloween is coming. Diwali is coming. Absolutely. Oh gosh, I'm okay. You're really nice. I like your channel and just sub to you. Thank you. Thank you, Laya. Thank you so very much. When you say very hardworking, my mother calls me 1 million lazy ass a cat. Oh gosh. Well, laziness is sometimes indicative of something that you don't find interesting. People who are lazy in some departments might actually be very energetic in others, in the sense that they might want to find what they're truly passionate about. Yes, here is Baji, and he is in lap. Your cat is cute and cuddly. Thank you. Thank you, Laya. Yes, FBI part 3. So we will now get started, and I will continue to read your comments as I read in between the... Yes, bring your snacks. Yes, grab your popcorn, grab your tea, coffee, water, bring your snacks. It's story time starting, and we will finish the book today. So the finale, it's very exciting because we'll figure out all this murder mystery stuff, and we will solve the puzzle together today. And in between my reading, I still read all your comments. So no worries, I will get to reading everything. And you should also feel free to chat with each other in the live. Sometimes people make friends here in the live chat as I keep reading and people keep chatting with each other. I have an iPhone 8. Oh, nice. Molly says, I'm getting my Oreos and milk. Please do. Look, I have my coffee with me and I'm holding it carefully so that I can, I have Baji on lap, coffee in hand, book on the sofa, and my phone in my hand. I need to buy a mic so that I can put this phone down and not have to hold it while I'm reading, but I haven't spent that money yet. I'm from England. Kayla! That's so nice. Thank you. Well, we're reading an author today who is also from England, Agatha Christie. In fact, she is maybe the biggest author ever because, as I mentioned before, she is the most published author after the Bible and Shakespeare. Most widely published, most number of copies published, most number of languages in which her novels have been published. In all ways, she is really up there in her how prolific she is, and also she has the longest running play in the history of time in London, The Mousetrap, which I've seen twice. so, so that tells you I'm rather a fan of this lady. Okay. Good evening, new guy. Excuse me, I have to cough. Kayla says, yes, Molly. I got my snacks, people, and my PJs. I love it. Look at this. I'm in a nice warm, well, not too warm. I have my warm socks on, and I have this long dress on. I'm very snuggly and cuddly and cozy today. So Baji's on my lap, enjoying. Looks like our furry friend will be sleeping this entire life. Yeah, he wants to cuddle. Why not? Hello, everybody. Good evening. New guy. I love when new guy joins. He's a very patient audience member of the reading. Good evening, Molly. Says, come to India, Kalibar Jat. I wish, Kalibar. Of course, I want to come to India. Me be waiting before I chow my snacks for the story. Okay, Kayla. Okay, Molly. Okay, new guy. Okay, Mike. Okay, Kalibar. Everyone ready? Part 3. Hello, Indri. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, new guy. I'm happy you are here. Part 3 of Agatha Christie. So let me remind you once more what is happening. So this is Sad Cypress. And we kind of know what's been happening in the sense that we've been reading the book. Beautiful young Elanor Carlyle stood serenely in the dock, accused of the murder of Mary Gerard, her rival in love. The evidence was damning. Only Elanor had the motive, the opportunity, and the means to administer the fatal poison. Yet, inside the hostile courtroom, only one man still presumed Elanor was innocent until proven guilty. Hercule Poirot was all that stood between Elanor and the gallows. So remember in part 1, we were seeing this story sort of from the perspective of Elanor and her fiancé Roddy, who were sort of cousins in the sense not really blood related, but they were both related to this lady, Mrs. Wellman, who was sick and soon she died. And then there was also Mary, who lived in that same estate. And turns out, we find out later on in part 2 that Mary was actually the child of Mrs. Wellman, but, you know, she was so-called illegitimate child because the person that she had the child with, they could not get married because he was married and had a wife in asylum. And sorry, I lost my thought. So all of these things kind of unraveled. And then turns out also that Mary was poisoned. Elanor had been preparing to sell the house. And as she was going through the stuff and making sure that the home was prepared for sale, she had made these sandwiches with fish paste And then she had offered them to the nurse as well as Mary. And turns out that Mary was poisoned and she died from this poison, which was morphine. It was found that she had been poisoned with morphine. And then morphine was also found in the aunt's body. So now two people had been potentially poisoned, and Eleanor was the one that was being accused, and a lot of the evidence was really damning against her because she's the only one they thought with motive to murder this girl, because Roddy had fallen in love with Mary, and also Eleanor was the one who gained from the death of her aunt because her aunt never changed her will and left everything to Eleanor. And some people think that if she had changed her will, it would have gone to Mary because Mary was actually the aunt's biological daughter. So those are all the drama that had gone down. Mohit is saying hello. Those are all the drama that had gone down. In the meanwhile, Peter Lord, the doctor of the aunt, had employed Hercule Poirot, a famous detective, of course, Agatha Christie's one of her most famous detectives, to look into this case and see if he can find any evidence that would help Eleanor, because he really likes Eleanor. So he wants Eleanor to be set free, whether she's guilty or not, because he just loves her. And Poirot is now looking into the case, and he is obviously getting a new perspective into the case because he is objective. He looks at all the facts of the matter. He talks to people, and even if they lie, he still learns something, because if somebody's lying about something, that could also tell you some new information. And he actually gathered a lot of information based on speaking with a ton of people. So we kind of saw all that in the part 2, where Hercule Poirot was interviewing people and learning more and more information about everyone, by just, not about everyone, but just about the case in general, by just speaking with everybody. So now we start part 3. Was it very hot in the court or very cold? Eleanor Carlyle could not be quite sure. Sometimes she felt burning, as though with fever, and immediately after she shivered. She had not heard the end of the prosecuting counsel's speech. She had gone back to the past, gone slowly through the whole business again, from the day when that miserable letter came to the moment when that smooth-faced police officer had said, with horrible fluency, "You are Eleanor Catherine Carlyle. I have here a warrant for your arrest upon the charge of murdering Mary Gerard by administering poison to her on the 27th of July last, and I must warn you that anything you say will be taken down in writing and may be used as evidence at your trial." Horrible, frightening fluency. She felt caught up in a smooth-running, well-oiled machine, inhuman, passionless. And now, here she was, standing in the dock, in the open glare of publicity, with hundreds of eyes that were neither impersonal nor inhuman, feasting upon her and gloating. Only the jury did not look at her. Embarrassed, they kept their eyes studiously turned away. She thought, it's because soon they know what they're going to say. She's thinking that the jury has already made up their mind. So that was the beginning of this part 3. Dr. Lord was giving evidence. Was this Peter Lord, that freckled, cheery young doctor who had been so kind and so friendly at Hunterbury? He was very stiff now, sternly professional. His answers came monotonously. He had been summoned by telephone to Hunterbury Hall, too late for anything to be done. Mary Gerard had died a few minutes after his arrival, death consistent, in his opinion, with morphia poisoning in one of its less common forms, the Fodruante variety. I'll let you look at that word and see how it's spelled. Fodruante variety. Sorry, you know. Sir Edwin Bulmer rose to cross-examine. You were the late Mrs. Wellman's regular medical attendant? I was. During your visits to Hunterbury in June last, you had occasion to see the accused and Mary Gerard together? Several times. What would you say was the manner of the accused to Mary Gerard? Perfectly pleasant and natural, Sir Edwin Bulmer said with a slightly disdainful smile. You never saw any signs of this jealous hatred we have heard so much about? Peter Lord, his jaw set, said firmly, no. Elanor thought, but he did. He did. He told a lie for me there. He knew. Peter Lord was succeeded by the police surgeon. His evidence was longer, more detailed. Death was due to morphia poisoning of the Fodruante variety. Would he kindly explain that term? With some enjoyment, he did so. Death from morphine poisoning might occur in several different ways. The most common was a period of intense excitement, followed by drowsiness and narcosis, pupils of eyes contracted. Another not-so-common form had been named by the French, Fodruante. In these cases, deep sleep supervened in a very short time, about 10 minutes. The pupils of the eyes were usually dilated. Oh, good God. Yeah, drama, yeah. The court had adjourned and sat again. There had been some hours of expert medical testimony. Dr. Alan Garsha, the distinguished analyst, full of learned terms, spoke with gusto of the stomach contents, bread, fish paste, tea, presence of morphia, more learned terms, and various dismal points. Amount taken by the deceased estimated to be about 4 grains. Fatal dose could be as low as 1 grain. Sir Edwin rose, still bland. I should like to get it quite clear. You found in the stomach nothing but bread, butter, fish paste, tea, and morphia. There were no other foodstuffs? None. That is to say, the deceased had eaten nothing but sandwiches and tea for some considerable time? That is so. Was there anything to show in what particular vehicle the morphia had been administered? I don't quite understand. I will simplify that question. The morphia could have been taken in the fish paste, or in the bread, or in the butter, or the bread, or in the tea, or in the milk that had been added to the tea? Certainly. There was no special evidence that the morphia was in the fish paste rather than in any of the other mediums? No. And in fact, the morphia might have been taken separately. That is to say, not in any vehicle at all. It could have been simply swallowed in its tablet form. That is so, of course. Sir Edwin sat down. Sir Samuel re-examined. Nevertheless, you are of the opinion that, however the morphine was taken, it was taken at the same time as the other food and drink. Yes, thank you. Inspector Brill had taken the oath with mechanical fluency. He stood there, soldierly and stolid, reeling off his evidence with practiced ease. Summoned to the house, the accused said it must have been bad fish paste. Search of the premises, 1 jar of fish paste washed out was standing on the draining board in the pantry, another half full. Further search of pantry kitchen. What did you find? In a crack behind the table, between the floorboards, I found a tiny scrap of paper. The exhibit went to the jury. So look at this. They have a picture of what he found right here. See how it says tablets and then morphia and then hydro, probably chloride, gram 1/2. What did you take it to be? A fragment torn off a printed label, such as are used on glass tubes of morphia. Counsel for the defense arose with leisurely ease. He said, You found this scrap in a crack in the flooring? Yes. Part of a label? Yes. Did you find the rest of that label? No. You did not find any glass tube or any bottle to which that label might have been affixed. No. What was the state of that scrap of paper when you found it? Was it clean or dirty? It was quite fresh. What do you mean, quite fresh? There was surface dust on it from the flooring, but it was quite clean otherwise. It could not have been there for any length of time. No, it had found its way there quite recently. You would say then that it had come there on the actual day you found it, not earlier? Yes. With a grunt, Sir Edwin sat down. Nurse Hopkins in the box, her face red and self-righteous. All the same, Elanor thought, Nurse Hopkins was not so frightening as Inspector Brill. It was the inhumanity of Inspector Brill that was so paralyzing. He was so definitely part of a great machine. Nurse Hopkins had human passions, prejudices. Your name is Jessie Hopkins? Yes. You're a certified district nurse and you reside at Rose Cottage, Hunterbury? Yes. Where were you on the 28th of June last? I was at Hunterbury Hall. You had been sent for? Yes. Mrs. Wellman had had a stroke, the second. I went to assist Nurse O'Brien until a second nurse could be found. Did you take a small attache case with you? Yes. Tell the jury what was in it. Bandages, dressings, a hypodermic syringe, and certain drugs, including a tube of morphine hydrochloride. For what purpose was it there? One of the cases in the village had to have hypodermic injections of morphia morning and evening. What were the contents of the tube? There were 20 tablets, each containing half-grain morphine hydrochloride. What did you do with your attache case? I laid it down in the hall. That was on the evening of the 20th. When did you next have occasion to look in the case? The following morning, about 9 o'clock, just as I was preparing to leave the house. Was anything missing? The tube of morphine was missing. Did you mention this loss? I spoke of it to Nurse O'Brien, the nurse in charge of the patient. This case was lying in the hall where people were in the habit of passing to and fro? Yes. Sir Samuel paused. Then he said, You knew the dead girl, Mary Gerard, intimately? Yes. What was your opinion of her? She was a very sweet girl and a good girl. Was she of happy disposition? Very happy. She had no troubles that you know of? No. At the time of her death, was there anything whatever to worry her or make her unhappy about the future? Nothing. She would have no reason to have taken her own life? No reason at all. It went on and on. The damning story, how Nurse Hopkins had accompanied Mary to the lodge, the appearance of Elanor, her excitable manner, the invitation to sandwiches, the plate being handed first to Mary, Eleanor's suggestion that everything be washed up, and her further suggestion that Nurse Hopkins should come upstairs with her and assist in sorting out clothes. There were frequent interruptions and objections from Sir Edwin Bulmer. Elanor thought, yes, it's all true, and she believes it. She's certain I did it, and every word she says is the truth. That's what's so horrible. It's all true. Once more, as she looked across the court, she saw the face of Hercule Poirot, regarding her thoughtfully, almost kindly, seeing her with too much knowledge. The piece of cardboard with the scrap of label pasted onto it was handed to the witness. Do you know what this is? It's a bit of a label. Can you tell the jury what label? Yes, it's a part of a label of a tube of hypodermic tablets, morphine tablets, half grain, like the one I lost. You are sure of that? Of course I'm sure. It's off my tube. The judge said, Is there any special mark on it by which you can identify it as the label of the tube you lost? No, my lord, but it must be the same. Actually, all you can say is that it is exactly similar? Well, yes, that's what I mean. The court adjourned. All right, that was the first chapter of this part. We will start the second chapter here really soon. I just got added on Snapchat. Oh. Hi, Mohit. Thank you for listening to this story. Mohit says he's Batman. Okay. Hi, Batman. Someone said I should sing Nicki Minaj song. That's just somebody, you know, and no, probably a regular person pulling our leg. That's all. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining and for enjoying the story and hanging out with me and Baji. We'll continue reading. Let me take a few sips of coffee and we'll start part 2 or the next chapter. So we're on part 3, the last part, finale part, and we'll start chapter 2 really, really soon here. Get ready. Get ready, my friends. The cat is planning something deep. He's very sweet, though. I don't have Snapchat. Look at you, Molly and Kayla. Made friends here? Very nice. I love it. I'm still best friends with my best friend from my childhood. And we both loved Agatha Christie. She lives in India. One time, I borrowed a book from her. Agatha Christie book, of course. I mean, we read lots of other books too, but one time she got an Agatha Christie book and she gave it to me before she read it because she loved me. She gave me this book, right? And I thought if she's giving it to me, she must have read it already. So I read the book and I spoiled it for her, not knowing that she had not read it. Oh my God, I didn't realize that she was giving me the book without reading it first herself. It was her book. A short movie suggestion. Stranger Who Met Five Times. Anyway, this book, the reason I so excitedly told her the story is it's one of my most favorite Agatha Christie stories, and I'll probably read that on this channel as well. But I didn't read that for this part, like, you know, this book that I'm reading right now, I've also read, but I'd kind of forgotten the story more. Whereas that one, I liked it so much. I've reread it and I do know the story very well. So it wouldn't be like solving the puzzle together, you know, because I kind of remember it very well. This one, I remember it less. So it's almost like I'm discovering it for the first time. Avakin says, can we see you? I still have my friend since I was 4 years old. Oh my gosh, yes. My best friend is from when we were like 3 and 4. 3-ish years old is when we met. But we didn't become best friends when we were 3 because we started school when we were 3 and she had a different best friend. But then when we were around 7 or 8, we became best friends. It was my first friend. Yes, same. Same here. This one I'm talking about is also my first friend. Probably more like first. Well, not really. Okay, not really. Not first friend. I would say because I had a few other friends in my neighborhood as well. Probably are you going to talk about this book the whole time? Yes, so today we're going to finish the rest of this book. We don't have a lot left. We're going to finish the book today, the finale of this book, where we solve the mystery together. So we will be hanging out, chatting, and also I'll finish reading the full book today. Hi, Baji. Did you hear that? Baji came and Baji came and The cat meows. Yes. He came and meowed. He came and meowed. See, he's looking. He's like, don't stop. Don't stop petting me. Oh, baby. To me, baby. Oh, he's purring. He's purring. He's purring. He's purring. Okay, Baji. All right, Baji's ready. You all ready for chapter 2? Baji's ready. He's on lap. He's on lap. He's ready. Hi, Baji. Hi, Bublai. Hi, Bublai. He's like buried in my lap now. Oh. Chapter 2. Okay, Baji. Let's start reading again. Chapter 2. It was another day. Sir Edwin Bulmer was on his feet, cross-examining. He was not at all bland now. He said sharply, "This Hitachi case we have heard so much about. On June 20th, it was left in the main hall of Hunterbury all night?" Nurse Hopkins agreed. "Yes." "Rather a careless thing to do, wasn't it?" Nurse Hopkins flushed. "Yes, I suppose it was." "Are you in the habit of leaving dangerous drugs lying about where anyone could get at 'em?" "No, of course not. But, oh, you're not? But you did it on this occasion?" "Yes. And it's a fact, isn't it, that anybody in the house could have got at that morphia if they'd wanted to?" "I suppose so. No suppose about it. It is so, isn't it?" "Well, yes. It wasn't only this Miss Carlyle who could have got at it. Any of the servants could, or Dr. Lord, or Mr. Roderick Wellman, or Nurse O'Brien, or Mary Gerard herself." "I suppose so, yes. It is so, isn't it?" "Yes. Was anyone aware you'd got morphia in that case?" "I don't know." "Well, did you talk about it to anyone?" "No. So as a matter of fact, Miss Carlyle couldn't have known that there was any morphia there." "She might have looked to see." "That's very unlikely, isn't it?" "I don't know. There were people who'd be more likely to know about the morphia than Miss Carlyle. Dr. Lord, for instance, he would know. You were administering this morphia under his orders, weren't you?" "Of course." "Mary Gerard knew you had it there too." "No, she didn't." "She was often in your cottage, wasn't she?" "Not very often." "I suggest to you that she was there very frequently, and that she, of all the people in the house, would be the most likely to guess that there was morphia in your case." "I don't agree." Sir Edwin paused a minute. "You told Nurse O'Brien in the morning that the morphia was missing." "Yes. I put it to you that what you really said was, 'I have left the morphia at home. I shall have to go back for it.'" "No, I didn't." "You didn't suggest that the morphia had been left on the mantelpiece in your cottage?" "Well, when I couldn't find it, I thought that must have been what had happened. In fact, you didn't really know what you'd done with it." "Yes, I did. I put it in the case. Then why did you suggest on the morning of June 29th that you had left it at home?" "Because I thought I might have done." "I put it to you that you're a very careless woman." "That's not true. You make rather inaccurate statements sometimes, don't you?" "No, I don't. I'm very careful what I say." "Did you make a remark about a prick from a rose tree on July 27th, the day of Mary Gerard's death?" "I don't see what's that got to do with it," the judge said. "Is that relevant, Sir Edwin?" "Yes, my lord, it is an essential part of the defense, and I intend to call witnesses to prove that that statement was a lie." He resumed, "Do you still say you pricked your wrist on a rose tree on July 27th? "Yes, I did." Nurse Hopkins looked defiant. "When did you do that?" just before leaving the lodge and coming up to the house on the morning of July 27th. Sir Edwin said skeptically. And what rose tree was this? A climbing one just outside the lodge, with pink flowers. You're sure of that? I'm quite sure. Sir Edwin paused and then asked, You persist in saying the morphia was in the Attache case when you came to Hunterbury on June 28th. I do. I had it with me. Supposing that presently Nurse O'Brien goes into the box and swears that you said you had probably left it at home. It was in my case, I'm sure of it. Sir Edwin sighed. You didn't feel at all uneasy about the disappearance of the morphia? Not uneasy, no. So you were quite at ease, notwithstanding the fact that a large quantity of a dangerous drug had disappeared. Let me push my pillow behind me, sorry. Oof. This is so fun. Poor Nurse Hopkins. She's getting grilled. I didn't think at the time anyone had taken it. I see. You just couldn't remember for the moment what you had done with it. Not at all. It was in the case. 20 half-grain tablets, that is 10 grains of morphia. Enough to kill several people, isn't it? Yes. But you're not uneasy, and you don't even report the loss officially. I thought it was all right. I put it to you that if the morphia had really disappeared the way it did, you would have been bound, as a conscientious person, to report the loss officially. Nurse Hopkins, very red in the face, said, Well, I didn't. That was surely a piece of criminal carelessness on your part. You don't seem to take your responsibilities very seriously. Did you often mislay these dangerous drugs? It never happened before. It went on for some minutes. Nurse Hopkins, flustered, red in the face, contradicting herself, an easy prey to Sir Edwin's skill. Is it a fact that on Thursday, July 6th, the dead girl, Mary Gerard, made a will? She did. Why did she do that? Because she thought it was the proper thing to do, and so it was. Are you sure it wasn't because she was depressed and uncertain about her future? Nonsense. It showed, though, that the idea of death was present in her mind, that she was brooding on the subject. Not at all. She just thought it was the proper thing to do. Is this the will, signed by Mary Gerard, witnessed by Emily Biggs and Roger Wade, confectioner's assistant, and leaving everything of which she died possessed to Mary Riley, sister of Eliza Riley? That's right. It was handed to the jury. To your knowledge, had Mary Gerard any property to leave? Not then, she hadn't. But she was shortly going to have? Yes. Is it not a fact that a considerable sum of money, £2,000, was being given to Mary by Miss Carlyle? Yes. There was no compulsion on Miss Carlyle to do this. It was entirely a generous impulse on her part. She did it of her own free will, yes. But surely if she had hated Mary Gerard, as is suggested, she would not of her own free will have handed over to her a large sum of money. Here's the book. That's as may be. What do you mean by that answer? I don't mean anything. Exactly. Now that you've heard any local gossip about Mary Gerard. Exactly. Now, had you heard any local gossip about Mary Gerard and Mr. Roderick Wellman? He was sweet on her. Have you any evidence of that? I just knew it, that's all. Oh, you just knew it. That's not very convincing to the jury, I'm afraid. Did you say on one occasion Mary would have nothing to do with him because he was engaged to Miss Elanor and she said the same to him in London? That's what she told me. Sir Samuel Attenbury re-examined. When Mary Gerard was discussing with you the wording of this will, did the accused look in through the window? Yes, she did. What did she say? She said, "So you're making your will, Mary? That's funny." And she laughed, laughed and laughed. And it's my opinion, said the witness viciously, that it was at that moment the idea came into her head, the idea of making away with the girl. She had murder in her heart that very minute. The judge spoke sharply. Confine yourself to answering the questions that are asked of you. The last part of that answer is to be struck out. Elanor thought, how queer. When anyone says what's true, they strike it out. She wanted to laugh hysterically. Nurse O'Brien was in the box. We're making progress with the witnesses. Nurse O'Brien was in the box. On the morning of June 29th, did Nurse Hopkins make a statement to you? Yes, she said she had a tube of morphine hydrochloride missing from her case. What did you do? I helped her to hunt for it. But you could not find it? No. To your knowledge, was the case left overnight in the hall? It was. Mr. Wellman and the accused were both staying in the house at the time of Mrs. Wellman's death, that is on June 28th to 29th? Yes. Will you tell us of an incident that occurred on June 29th, the day after Mrs. Wellman's death? I saw Mr. Roderick Wellman with Mary Gerard. He was telling her he loved her and he tried to kiss her. He was at the time engaged to the accused? Yes. What happened next? Mary told him to think shame of himself and him engaged to Miss Elanor. In your opinion, what was the feeling of the accused towards Mary Gerard? She hated her. She would look after her as though she'd like to destroy her. Sir Edwin jumped up. Elanor thought, why do they wrangle about? What does it matter? Sir Edwin Bulmer cross-examined. Is it not a fact that Nurse Hopkins said she thought she had left the morphia at home? Well, you see, it was this way after. Kindly answer my question. Did she not say that she had probably left the morphia at home? Yes. She was not really worried at the time about it? No, not then. Because she thought she had left it at home, so naturally she was not uneasy. She couldn't imagine anyone taking it. Exactly. It wasn't till after Mary Gerard's death from morphia that her imagination got to work. The judge interrupted. I think, Sir Edwin, that you have already been over that point with the former witness. As your lordship pleases. Now, regarding the attitude of the accused to Mary Gerard, there was no quarrel between them at any time? No quarrel, no. Miss Carlyle was always quite pleasant to the girl? Yes, it was the way she looked at her. Yes. But we can't go by that sort of thing. You're Irish, I think? I am that. And the Irish have a rather vivid imagination, haven't they? Nurse O'Brien cried excitedly. Every word I've told you is the truth. Mr. Abbott, the grocer in the box, flustered, unsure of himself, slightly thrilled though at his importance, his evidence was short. The purchase of 2 pots of fish paste. The accused had said there's a lot of food poisoning with fish paste. She had seemed excited and queer. No cross-examination. This book has a lot of drama. Yeah. Hi, Molly. Thank you for listening. Hi, Kayla. Welcome back. Yeah, it's good. So all the cross examination and the examination are happening right now. So even the grocer was in the box, and he said that Eleanor had looked excited and queer. So everybody has their sort of feeling about the matter. All right, we'll start chapter 3 in just a sec. Look at Baji. He has his face buried in lap. He has his fish buried. Grab your snacks. Grab your hot chocolate. Grab your popcorn. Tea, coffee. I need to move the table closer so I can put my feet up and also get my coffee. Baji! Thank you, Molly. He is very cute indeed. All right. Oh. You got pizza? Oh, that's so awesome. Yay, Molly is eating pizza. Baji likes pizza. Whenever I get pizza, he wants some. I just hit my brother. Oh gosh. Some violence. Brother-sister fight? All right, chapter 3. Are you ready? Even more drama is about to go down. Opening speech for the defense. Gentlemen of the jury, I might, if I like, submit to you that there is no case against the accused. The onus of proof is on the prosecution, and so far, in my opinion, and I have no doubt, yours, they have proved exactly nothing at all. The prosecution avers that Eleanor Carlyle, having obtained possession of morphine, which everyone in the house had equal opportunity of purloining, and as to which there exists considerable doubt whether it was ever in the house at all, proceeds to poison Mary Gerard. Here the prosecution has relied solely on opportunity. It has sought to prove motive, but I submit that that is just what it has not been able to do. For members of the jury, there is no motive. The prosecution has spoken of a broken engagement. I ask you, a broken engagement? If a broken engagement is a cause for murder, why are we not having murders committed every day? And this engagement, mark you, was not an affair of desperate passion. It was an engagement entered into mainly for family reasons. Miss Carlyle and Mr. Wellman had grown up together. They had always been fond of each other, and gradually they drifted into a warmer attachment. But I intend to prove to you it was at best a very lukewarm affair. Oh, Roddy, Roddy, a lukewarm affair? That's what Elanor is thinking. Moreover, this engagement was broken off, not by Mr. Wellman, but by the prisoner. I submit to you that the engagement between Eleanor Carlyle and Roderick Wellman was entered into mainly to please old Mrs. Wellman. When she died, both parties realized that their feelings were not strong enough to justify them in entering upon matrimony. They remained, however, good friends. Moreover, Eleanor Carlyle, who had inherited her aunt's fortune, in the kindliness of her nature, was planning to settle a considerable sum of money on Mary Gerard. And this is the girl she is accused of poisoning. The thing is farcical. The only thing that there is against Eleanor Carlyle is the circumstances under which the poisoning took place. The prosecution has said in effect, so that was the defense's statement. Now, this is the prosecution. No one but Eleanor Carlyle could have killed Mary Gerard. Therefore, they have had to search about for a possible motive. But as I've said to you, they have been unable to find any motive because there was none. Now, is it true that no one but Eleanor Carlyle could have killed Mary Gerard? Oh, maybe this is still the defense's speech, actually. They're talking about what the prosecution said. The prosecution has said, in effect, no one but Eleanor Carlyle could have killed Mary Gerard. Therefore, they have had to search about for a possible motive. But as I've said to you, they have been unable to find any motive because there was none. Now, is it true that no one but Eleanor Carlyle could have killed Mary Gerard? No, it is not. There is the possibility that Mary Gerard committed suicide. There is the possibility that someone tampered with the sandwiches while Eleanor Carlyle was out of the house at the lodge. There is a third possibility. It is a fundamental law of evidence that if it can be shown that there is an alternative theory which is possible and consistent with the evidence, the accused must be acquitted. I propose to show you that there was another person who had not only an equal opportunity to poison Mary Gerard, but who had a far better motive for doing so. I propose to call evidence to show you that there was another person who had access to the morphine and who had a very good motive for killing Mary Gerard. And I can show that that person had an equally good opportunity of doing so. I submit to you that no jury in the world will convict this woman of murder when there is no evidence against her except that of opportunity, and when it can be shown that there is not only evidence of opportunity against another person, but an overwhelming motive. I shall also call witness to prove that there has been deliberate perjury on the part of one of the witnesses for the Crown. But first, I will call the prisoner, that she may tell you her own story, and that you may see for yourself how entirely unfounded the charges against her are. So that was what the defense said, that, all Eleanor had was opportunity, but there was no motive, because basically they're saying that her engagement with Roddy was just purely a family connection. It wasn't all that passionate of a love affair, so she couldn't have been that heartbroken about, losing him, and basically she had no motive, is what the defense is saying, and that there might be another person, we don't know yet, that the defense is talking about, who might have had both the opportunity and the motive. So, but before that, they're calling upon Eleanor into the witness box. She had taken the oath. She was answering Sir Edwin's questions in a low voice. The judge leaned forward. He told her to speak louder. Sir Edwin was talking gently and encouragingly, all the questions to which she had rehearsed the answers. You were fond of Roderick Wellman? Very fond. He was like a brother to me, or a cousin. I always thought of him as a cousin. The engagement, drifted into it, Very pleasant to marry someone you had known all your life. Not perhaps what might be called a passionate affair? Passionate? Oh, Roddy. So that's in the parentheses. So in parentheses, she has some thoughts, and out loud, she's saying something else. Well, no. You see, we knew each other so well. After the death of Mrs. Wellman, was there a slightly strained feeling between you? Yes, there was. How did you account for this? I think it was partly the money. The money? Yes. Roderick felt uncomfortable. He thought people might think he was marrying me for that. The engagement was not broken off on account of Mary Gerard. I did think Roderick was rather taken with her, but I didn't believe it was anything serious. Would you have been upset if it had been? Oh no, I should have thought it rather unsuitable, that is all. Now, Miss Carlyle, did you or did you not take a tube of morphine from Nurse Hopkins's attaché case on June 28th? I did not. Have you at any time had morphine in your possession? Never. Were you aware that your aunt had not made a will? No, it came as a great surprise to me. Did you think she was trying to convey to you a message on the night of June 28th when she died? I understood that she had made no provision for Mary Gerard and was anxious to do so. And in order to carry out her wishes, you yourself were prepared to settle a sum of money on the girl? Yes. I wanted to carry out Aunt Laura's wishes, and I was grateful for the kindness Mary had shown to my aunt. On July 26th, did you come down from London to Maidensford and stay at the King's Arms? Yes. What was your purpose in coming down? I had an offer for the house, and the man who had bought it wanted possession as quickly as possible. I had to look through my aunt's personal things and settle things up generally. Did you buy various provisions on your way to the hall on July 27th? Yes, I thought it would be easier to have a picnic lunch there than come back to the village. Did you then go on to the house, and did you sort through your aunt's personal effects? I did, and after that? I came down to the pantry and cut some sandwiches. I then went down to the lodge and invited the district nurse and Mary Gerard to come up to the house. Why did you do this? I wished to save them a hot walk back to the village and back again to the lodge. It was in fact a natural and kindly action on your part. Did they accept the invitation? Yes, they walked up to the house with me. Where were the sandwiches you had cut? I left them in the pantry on a plate. Was the window open? Yes. Anyone could have got into the pantry while you were absent? Certainly. If anybody had observed you from outside while you were cutting the sandwiches, what would they have thought? I suppose that I was preparing to have a picnic lunch? They could not know, could they, that anyone was to share the lunch? No, the idea of inviting the other two only came to me when I saw what a quantity of food I had. I know, the police is here to arrest Elanor. So that if anyone had entered the house during your absence and placed morphine in one of those sandwiches, it would be you they were attempting to poison. So this is a point that I've been thinking about from the beginning. So I'm glad it's come up in the trial now. that if anyone else had tampered with the sandwiches, it would be that they thought it was Elanor who's going to get poisoned. So let me read that again. So if anyone had entered the house during your absence and placed morphine in one of those sandwiches, it would be you they were attempting to poison. Well, yes, it would. What happened when you had all arrived back at the house? We went into the morning room. I fetched the sandwiches and handed them to the other two. Did you drink anything with them? I drank water. There was beer on a table, but Nurse Hopkins and Mary preferred tea. Nurse Hopkins went into the pantry and made it. She brought it in on a tray and Mary poured it out. Did you have any? No, but Mary Gerard and Nurse Hopkins both drank tea? Yes. What happened next? Nurse Hopkins went and turned the gas ring off, leaving you alone with Mary Gerard? Yes. What happened next? After a few minutes, I picked up the tray and the sandwich plate and carried them into the pantry. Nurse Hopkins was there, and we washed them together. Did Nurse Hopkins have her cuffs off at the time? Yes, she was washing the things while I dried them. Did you make a certain remark to her about a scratch on her wrist? I asked her if she had pricked herself. What did she reply? She said it was a thorn from the rose tree outside the lodge. I'll get it out presently. I think, what was her manner at the time? I think she was feeling the heat. She was perspiring, and her face was a queer color. What happened after that? We went upstairs and she helped me with my aunt's things. What time was it when you went downstairs again? It must have been an hour later. Where was Mary Gerard? She was sitting in the morning room. She was breathing very queerly and was in a coma. I rang up the doctor on Nurse Hopkins's instructions. He arrived just before she died. Sir Edwin squared his shoulders dramatically. Miss Carlyle, did you kill Mary Gerard? That's your cue. Head up, eyes straight. So they taught her to do that. No. So Elanor is saying she did not kill. Good. They taught her to say that too. So, of course. Thistle, hi. How are you? Yeah, there's a lot of sirens in this area. We're in a sort of urban area, so there's a lot of police and ambulance sirens. All right, keep going. Sir Samuel Attenbury, a sick beating at one's heart. Now, she was at the mercy of an enemy. No more gentleness, no more questions to which she knew the answers. But he began quite mildly. So this is the prosecution now, who's going to be questioning Elanor. So get ready. What we heard so far with Elanor in the box was her own, the defense attorney questioning her. Now the prosecution will question her, so it should get a lot more juicy. Cecile says your voice is beautiful. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Sir Samuel Attenbury, a sick beating at one's heart. Now she was at the mercy of an enemy. No more gentleness, no more questions to which she knew the answers. But he began quite mildly. You were engaged to be married, you have told us, to Mr. Roderick Wellman? Yes, you were fond of him, very fond. I put it to you that you were deeply in love with Roderick Wellman and that you were wildly jealous of his love for Mary Gerard. No. Did it sound properly indignant that no? Sir Samuel said menacingly, I put it to you that you deliberately planned to put this girl out of the way in the hope that Roderick Wellman would return to you. Certainly not. Disdainful, a little wary, that was better. The questions went on. It was just like a dream, a bad dream, a nightmare. Question after question, horrible, hurting questions. Some of them she was prepared for, some took her unawares. Always trying to remember her part, never once to let go, to say, yes, I did hate her. Yes, I did want her dead. Yes, all the time I was cutting the sandwiches, I was thinking of her dying. To remain calm and cool and answer as briefly and passionlessly as possible. Fighting every inch of the way. Over now. The horrible man with the Jewish nose was sitting down, and the kindly, unctuous voice of Sir Edwin Bulmer was asking a few more questions. Easy, pleasant questions, designed to remove any bad impression she might have made under cross-examination. She was back again in the dock, looking at the jury, wondering. So, they're still questioning her. Roddy. Roddy standing there, blinking a little, hating it all. Roddy looking somehow not quite real. But nothing's real anymore. Everything is whirling around in a devilish way. Black's white, and top is bottom, and east is west, and I'm not Eleanor Carlyle. I am the accused. And whether they hang me or whether they let me go, nothing will ever be the same again. If there were just something, just one sane thing to hold on to. Peter Lord's face, perhaps, with its freckles and its extraordinary air of being just the same as usual. Where had Sir Edwin got to now? Aww, look at Baji. Come, Baji. Come, Baji. Come, Baji. Baji. Baji is in the snuggle position. Baji, the baby doll. Baby to baby. Baby to baby. Choto baby. Roddy answered, let me reread this part. Peter Lord's face, perhaps, with its freckles and its extraordinary air of being just the same as usual. Where had Sir Edwin got to now? Will you tell us what were the state of Miss Carlyle's feelings towards you? Roddy answered in his precise voice. I should say she was deeply attached to me, but certainly not passionately in love with me. You considered your engagement satisfactory? Oh, quite. We had a good deal in common. Will you tell the jury, Mr. Wellman, exactly why that engagement was broken off? Well, after Mrs. Wellman died, it pulled us up, I think, with a bit of a shock. I didn't like the idea of marrying a rich woman when I myself was penniless. Actually, the engagement was dissolved by mutual consent. We were both rather relieved. Now, will you tell us just what your relations were with Mary Gerard? Oh, Roddy. Poor Roddy, how you must hate all this. Elanor is thinking. I thought her very lovely. Were you in love with her? Just a little. When was the last time you saw her? Let me see. It must have been the 5th or 6th of July. Sir Edwin said, a touch of steel in his voice. You saw her after that, I think. No, I went abroad to Venice and Dalmatia. You returned to England when? When I received a telegram, let me see, on the 1st of August it must have been. But you were actually in England on July 27th, I think. No. Come now, Mr. Wellman, you are on oath, remember? Is it not a fact that your passport shows that you returned to England on July 25th and left it again on the night of the 27th? Sir Edwin's voice held a subtly menacing note. Elanor frowned, suddenly jerked back to reality. Why was counsel bullying his own witness? Taco. It's raining outside. I'm going to pass out of cuteness. Thank you, Molly. So they're on to Roddy's case now. Roderick had turned rather pale. He was silent for a minute or two, then he said with an effort, "Well, yes, that is so. Did you go and see this girl, Mary Gerard, in London on the 25th at her lodgings?" "Yes, I did." "Did you ask her to marry you?" Yes." "What was her answer?" "She refused." "You're not a rich man, Mr. Wellman?" "No." "And you're rather heavily in debt?" "What business is that of yours?" "Were you not aware of the fact that Miss Carlyle had left all her money to you in the event of her death?" "This is the first I've heard of it." "Were you in Maidensford on the morning of July 27th?" "I was not." Sir Edwin sat down. Counsel for the prosecution said, "You say that in your opinion the accused was not deeply in love with you." "That is what I said." "Are you a chivalrous man, Mr. Wellman?" "I don't know what you mean. If a lady were deeply in love with you and you were not in love with her, would you feel it incumbent upon you to conceal the fact?" "Certainly not." "Where did you go to school, Mr. Wellman?" "Eton," Sir Samuel said with a quiet smile. "That is all." If a lady were deeply in love with you and you were not in love with her, would you feel it incumbent upon you to conceal the fact? So they're basically suggesting that he was never in love with Elanor, and that's probably true, and that it was basically one-sided from her. All right, well, all kinds of things are coming out. Alfred James Wargrave, you're a rose grower and live at Emsworth. Burks, yes. Did you on October 20th go to Maidensford and examine a rose tree growing at the lodge at Hunterbury Hall? I did. Will you describe this tree? It was a climbing rose, Zephyrin druhin. It bears a sweetly scented pink flower. It has no thorns. It would be impossible to prick oneself on a rose tree of this description. It would be quite impossible. It is a thornless tree. No cross-examination. Oh, wow. That rose tree has a role too. You are James Arthur Littledale. You are a qualified chemist and employed by the wholesale chemist Jenkins and Hale. I am. Will you tell me what this scrap of paper is? The exhibit was handed to him. It's a fragment of one of our labels. What kind of label? The label we attach to tubes of hypodermic tablets. Is there enough? Is there enough here for you to say definitely what drug was in the tube to which this label was attached? Yes, I should say quite definitely that the tube in question contained hypodermic tablets of apomorphine hydrochloride, 1/20th grain. Apomorphine hydrochloride, 1/20th grain. Not morphine hydrochloride? No, it could not be that. Why not? On such a tube, the word morphine is spelt with a capital M. The end of the line of the M here, seen under my magnifying glass, shows plainly that it is part of a small m, not a capital M. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're saying it was apomorphine. Apomorphine hydrochloride, not morphine hydrochloride? It could not be that. Why not? On such a tube, the word morphine is spelt with a capital M. The end of the line of the M here, seen under my magnifying glass, shows plainly that it is part of a small m, not a capital M. Please let the jury examine it with the glass. Have you labels here to show what you mean. The labels were handed to the jury. Sir Edwin resumed, "You say this is from a tube of apomorphine hydrochloride. What exactly is apomorphine hydrochloride?" The kitty. The kitty loves you so much. Yeah. Patiently, cat is listening. Yes, he is. Kitty cuddle break. They do. They love me. Thank you. Oh my god. I can't with the apomorphine. Please let the jury examine it with the glass. Have you labels here to show what you mean? The labels were handed to the jury. Sir Edwin resumed, "You say this is from a tube of apomorphine hydrochloride. What exactly is apomorphine hydrochloride? The formula is C17H17NO2. Look at that. So there's 17 carbons, 17 hydrogens, and NO2. It is a derivative of morphine prepared by saponifying morphine by heating it with dilute hydrochloric acid in sealed tubes. Let me read that again. The formula is C17H17NO2. It is a derivative of morphine prepared by saponifying morphine by heating it with dilute hydrochloric acid in sealed tubes. The morphine loses one molecule of water. What are the special properties of apomorphine? Mr. Littledale said quietly, "Apomorphine is the quickest and most powerful emetic known. It acts within a few minutes. So if anybody had swallowed a lethal dose of morphine and were to inject a dose of apomorphine hypodermically within a few minutes, what would result? Vomiting would take place almost immediately and the morphine would be expelled from the system. Therefore, if two people were to share the same sandwich or drink from the same pot of tea, and one of them were then to inject a dose of apomorphine hypodermically, what would be the result? Supposing the shared food or drink to have contained morphine. The food or drink, together with the morphine, would be vomited by the person who injected the apomorphine. And that person would suffer no ill results? No. There was suddenly a stir of excitement in court and order for silence from the judge. Oh my gosh! Ah! Baji. Oh my god. Let the cat sleep. Organic chemistry. That's why cats choose to sleep. Oh my god. I love it. I love it. The organic chemistry is chemistrying. I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god. I'm going to read the whole thing again. Apomorphine is the quickest and most powerful emetic known. It acts within a few minutes. So if anybody had swallowed a lethal dose of morphine and were to inject a dose of apomorphine hypodermically within a few minutes, what would result? Vomiting would take place almost immediately and the morphine would be expelled from the system. Therefore, if two people were to share the same sandwich or drink from the same pot of tea and one of them were then to inject a dose of apomorphine hypodermically, what would be the result? Supposing the shared food or drink to have contained morphine. The food or drink, together with the morphine, would be vomited by the person who injected the apomorphine, and that person would suffer no ill results. All right, next. You are Amelia Mary Sedley, and you reside ordinarily at 17 Charles Street, Punamba, Auckland? Yes. Do you know a Mrs. Draper? Yes, I have known her for over 20 years. Do you know her maiden name? Yes, I was at her marriage. Her name was Mary Riley. Is she a native of New Zealand? No, she came... Oh my god. No, she came from England. You have been in court. since the beginning of these proceedings? Yes, I have. They're interviewing Amelia Mary Sedley now. Have you seen this Mary Riley or Draper in court? Yes. Have you seen this Mary Riley or Draper in court? Yes. Where did you see her? Giving evidence in this box. Under what name? Jessie Hopkins. And you're quite sure that this Jessie Hopkins is the woman you know as Mary Riley or Draper? Not a doubt of it. A slight commotion at the back of the court. When did you last see Mary Draper? Until today. 5 years ago, she went to England. Sir Edwin said with a bow. Your witness, Sir Samuel, rising with a slightly perplexed face, began. I suggest to you, Mrs. Sedley, that you may be mistaken. I'm not mistaken. You may have been misled by a chance resemblance. I know Mary Draper well enough. Nurse Hopkins is a certificated district nurse. Mary Draper was a hospital nurse before her marriage. You understand, do you not, that you are accusing a crown witness of perjury? I understand what I'm saying. Remember Mary Riley? Remember Nurse Hopkins. Nurse Hopkins. Nurse Hopkins is Mary Riley. What the? What? All right, keep going. Edward John Marshall. You lived for some years in Auckland, New Zealand, and now reside at 14 Wren Street, Deptford? That's right. Do you know Mary Draper? I've known her for years in New Zealand. Have you seen her today in court? I have. She called herself Hopkins, but it was Mrs. Draper, all right. The judge lifted his head. He spoke in a small, clear, penetrating voice. It is desirable, I think, that the witness, Jessie Hopkins, should be recalled. A pause, a murmur. Your Lordship, Jessie Hopkins left the court a few minutes ago. Nurse Hopkins. Nurse Hopkins. Okay, we'll keep going. The next witness. So Nurse Hopkins has left the court a few minutes ago. Now, the next witness. Hercule Poirot. Hercule Poirot entered the box, took the oath, twirled his moustache, and waited, with his head a little on one side. He gave his name and address and calling. Monsieur Poirot, do you recognize this document? Certainly. How did it originally come into your possession? It was given me by the district nurse, Nurse Hopkins. Sir Edwin said, with your permission, my lord, I will read this aloud, and it can then go to the jury. Okay, that was the last part of that chapter. Now it's chapter 4 next. So we made quite a discovery that Mary Riley is Nurse Hopkins. And remember, that's who Mary Gerard had made out her will to. She's the distant relative of Mary Gerard. And, you know, she was the one who encouraged Mary Gerard to make a will in the first place. Even the cat is enjoying the book. Everyone is enjoying the book. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right, we'll keep going. Chapter 4. Closing speech for the defense. Gentlemen of the jury, the responsibility now rests with you. It is for you to say if Elanor Carlyle is to go forth, free from the court, if, after the evidence you have heard, you are satisfied that Elanor Carlyle poisoned Mary Gerard, then it is your duty to pronounce her guilty. But if it should seem to you that there is equally strong evidence, and perhaps far stronger evidence against another person, then it is your duty to free the accused without more ado. You will have realized by now that the facts of the case are very different from what they originally appeared to be. Yesterday, after the dramatic evidence given by Monsieur Hercule Poirot, I called other witnesses to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that the girl Mary Gerard was the illegitimate daughter of Laura Wellman. That being true, it follows, as his lordship will doubtless instruct you, that Mrs. Wellman's next of kin was not her niece, Elanor Carlyle, but her illegitimate daughter, who went by the name of Mary Gerard. And therefore, Mary Gerard, at Mrs. Wellman's death, inherited a vast fortune. That, gentlemen, is the crux of the situation. A sum in the neighbourhood of £200,000 was inherited by Mary Gerard. But she herself was unaware of the fact. She was also unaware of the true identity of the woman Hopkins. You may think, gentlemen, that Mary Riley or Draper may have had some perfectly legitimate reason for changing her name to Hopkins. If so, why has she not come forward to state what the reason was? All that we do know is this, that at Nurse Hopkins' instigation, Mary Gerard made a will, leaving everything she had to Mary Riley, sister of Eliza Riley. We know that Nurse Hopkins, by reason of her profession, had access to morphine and to apomorphine and was well acquainted with their properties. Furthermore, it has been proved that Nurse Hopkins was not speaking the truth when she said that her wrist had been pricked by a thorn from a thornless rose tree. Why did she lie if it were not that she wanted hurriedly to account for the mark just made by the hypodermic needle? Remember, too, that the accused has stated on oath that Nurse Hopkins, when she joined her in the pantry, was looking ill, and her face was of a greenish colour, comprehensible enough if she had just been violently sick. I will underline yet another point. If Mrs. Wellman had lived 24 hours longer, she would have made a will, and in all probability, that will would have made a suitable provision for Mary Gerard, but would not have left her the bulk of her fortune, since it was Mrs. Wellman's belief that her unacknowledged daughter would be happier if she remained in another sphere of life. It is not for me to pronounce on the evidence against another person, except to show that this other person had equal opportunities and a far stronger motive for the murder. Looked at from the point of view, gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you that the case against Elanor Carlyle falls to the ground. Oh my God. From Mr. Okay, the next part. From Mr. Justice Bedingfield's summing up, you must be perfectly satisfied that this woman did, in fact, administer a dangerous dose of morphia to Mary Gerard on July 27th. If you're not satisfied, you must acquit the prisoner. The prosecution has stated that the only person who had the opportunity to administer poison to Mary Gerard was the accused. The defense has sought to prove that there were other alternatives, there is the theory that Mary Gerard committed suicide, but the only evidence in support of that theory is in the fact that Mary Gerard made a will shortly before she died. There is not the slightest proof that she was depressed or unhappy. or in a state of mind likely to lead her to take her own life. It has also been suggested that the morphine might have been introduced into the sandwiches by someone entering the pantry during the time that Eleanor Carlyle was at the lodge. In that case, the poison was intended for Eleanor Carlyle, and Mary Gerard's death was a mistake. The third alternative, suggested by the defense, is that another person had an equal opportunity to administer morphine, and that in the latter case, the poison was introduced into the tea and not into the sandwiches. In support of that theory, the defense has called the witness Littledale, who has sworn that the scrap of paper found in the pantry was part of a label on a tube containing tablets of apomorphine hydrochloride, a very powerful emetic. You have had an example of both types of labels submitted to you. In my view, the police were guilty of gross carelessness in not checking the original fragment more closely and in jumping to the conclusion that it was a morphine label. The witness, Hopkins, has stated that she pricked her wrist on a rose tree at the lodge. The witness, Wargrave, has examined that tree and it has no thorns on it. You have to decide what caused the mark on Nurse Hopkins's wrist and why she should tell a lie about it. If the prosecution has convinced you that the accused and no other committed the crime, then you must find the accused guilty. If the alternative theory suggested by the defense is possible and consistent with the evidence, the accused must be acquitted. I will ask you to consider the verdict with courage and diligence, weighing only the evidence that has been put before you. Wow. Hi, David. Hi, Human Cookie. Eleanor was brought back into the court. The jury filed in. Gentlemen of the jury, are you agreed upon your verdict? Yes. Look upon the prisoner at the bar and say whether she is guilty or not guilty. Not guilty. Ah! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Look at that. Eleanor was brought back into the court. The jury filed in. Gentlemen of the jury, are you agreed upon your verdict? They said not guilty. They said not guilty. Okay. Keep going. There's more. All right, so we just finished chapter 4 of this last part. We'll do chapter 5 next. Baji. Baji Baba. Wow. We discovered all kinds of things. How's everyone doing? All right, chapter 5. They had brought her out by a side door. She had been aware of faces welcoming her, Roddy, the detective with the big mustaches, but it was to Peter Lord that she turned. I want to get away. She was with him now in the smooth Daimler, driving rapidly out of London. He had said nothing to her. She had sat in the blessed silence, every minute taking her farther and farther away. A new life. That was what she wanted, a new life. She said suddenly, I want to go somewhere quiet, where there won't be any faces, Peter Lord said quietly. That's all arranged. You're going to a sanatorium, quiet place, lovely gardens, no one will bother you or get at you, she said with a sigh. Yes, that's what I want. It was being a doctor, she supposed, that made him understand. He knew and did not bother her. So blessedly peaceful to be here with him, going away from it all, out of London, to a place that was safe. So this is Eleanor now with Peter Lord. They found her not guilty. She's done. She's done with that, the court. All right. She wanted to forget. Forget everything. None of it was real any longer. It was all gone, vanished, finished with the old life and the old emotions. She was a new, strange, defenseless creature, very crude and raw, beginning all over again, very strange and very afraid. But it was comforting to be with Peter Lord. They were out of London now, passing through suburbs. She said at last, "It was all you, Peter Lord said. It was Hercule Poirot. The fellow's a kind of magician." But Elanor shook her head. She said obstinately, "It was you. You got hold of him and made him do it." Peter grinned. "I made him do it all right." Elanor said, "Did you know I hadn't done it, or weren't you sure?" Peter said simply, "I was never quite sure." Elanor said, "That's why I nearly said guilty right at the beginning." Okay, give me 1 second. I have to give them a snack. They're hungry. Look. Oh my god. Big stretch. Hi. Hi. All right, I gotta give them a snack. Give me 1 second. Come, Fuji. Oh, babies. Meow, 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 baby. Look at my Suji mama. She's eating her snack. They're eating their snacks. Oh, baby. You finished, baby? She's so talkative. All right, we'll get back to the reading in just a second. I gotta give them their snack and grab a water. Thank you, Molly. Hi, Gorang. Baby, Ashu. I know. She follows me. If I go to the other part of the kitchen, she follows me, even though she still has snack. Baby to, chotu baby. Baby. Good job, Suji mama. Good job. Baby. I want to hold my baby now. Baby to, baby. Kecho Bablu? Okay. They want. She eats the snack so fast. This is her favorite. ভালো মেয়ে তো ভালো মেয়ে ছোট মেয়ে তো ছোট মেয়ে Suji, did you eat? Baji also finished. Look, Baji's bowl is clean. Fuji's bowl is clean. Finish? Finish হয়ে গেছে বুলাই? Finish. She eats up here because otherwise the boys get her food. The boys eat her food too fast. Baji babu, খেয়েছো babu? Look, their bowls are absolutely clean. Korana, Shona. Shona, Fuji, Korana. Fuji is getting into some trouble. Asho babu, এদিকে আসো না ছেলে. Shona ছেলে তো Shona, Shona একদম. Come, come Fuji. Give big kiss. কি হয়েছে Shona? Suji will sit with me now and finish the book. Suji, you finish the book with me. I'm just having some water now. Good job, Fuji. So cute. Cute bachas. Cute. Okay, everyone, we will finish the book just now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the live. Really appreciate you. Cute. Look at my cute Suji. Touch wood. Thank you, universe. Alright. Oh, you can see her. Very nice. All right. Look at where she is now. She's up on top. All right, so now Peter Lord and Elanor are in the car together, driving away from all this madness, from the court and the trial, and she was found not guilty, thankfully for her. But there is still some story left, so we will finish it. Very strange and very afraid. That's how she had felt. It was comforting to be with Peter Lord. They were out of London now, passing through suburbs. She said at last, "It was all you, all you." Peter Lord said, "It was Hercule Poirot. The fellow's a kind of magician." Here you can see Baji. Whoops. There, like that. You can see Baji. "The fellow's a kind of magician." But Elanor shook her head. She said obstinately, "It was you. You got hold of him and made him do it." Peter grinned. "I made him do it all right." Elanor said, "Did you know I hadn't done it, or weren't you sure?" Peter said simply, "I was never quite sure." Elanor said, "That's why I nearly said guilty right at the beginning." "Because you see, I had thought of it. I thought of it that day when I laughed outside the cottage." Peter said, "Yes, I knew." She said wonderingly, "It seems so queer now, like a kind of a possession. That day I bought the paste and cut the sandwiches. I was pretending to myself. I was thinking, I've mixed poison with this, and when she eats, she will die, and then Roddy will come back to me." Peter Lord said, "It helps some people to pretend that sort of thing to themselves. It isn't a bad thing, really. You take it out of yourself in a fantasy, like sweating a thing out of your system." Elanor said, "Yes, that's true, because it went. Suddenly, the blackness, I mean, when that woman mentioned the rose tree outside the lodge, it all swung back into being normal again." Then with a shiver, she said, "Afterwards, when we went into the morning room and she was dead, dying, at least I felt them. I felt then, is there much difference between thinking and doing murder?" Peter Lord said, "All the difference in the world." "Yes, but is there?" "Of course there is. Thinking murder doesn't really do any harm. People have silly ideas about that. They think it's the same as planning murder. It isn't. If you think murder long enough, you suddenly come through the blackness and feel that it's all rather silly." Elanor cried, "Oh, you are a comforting person." Peter Lord said rather incoherently, "Not at all, just common sense." Elanor said, and there were suddenly tears in her eyes, "Every now and then, in court, I looked at you. It gave me courage. You looked so ordinary." Then she laughed. "That's rude." He said, "I understand. When you're in the middle of a nightmare, something ordinary is the only hope. Anyway, ordinary things are the best. I've always thought so. Ordinary things are the best. I've always thought so." Yes, I agree. Hi, Lenny. Hi. Hi, Lily. Hi, Molly. For the first time since she had entered the car, she turned her head and looked at him. The sight of his face didn't hurt her, as Roddy's face always hurt her. It gave her no sharp pang of pain and pleasure mixed. Instead, it made her feel warm and comforted. She thought, how nice his face is. Nice and funny. And yes, comforting. They drove on. They came at last to a gate and a driveway that wound upwards till it reached a quiet white house on the side of a hill. He said, "You'll be quite safe here. No one will bother you." Impulsively, she laid her arm She laid her hand on his arm. She said, You'll come and see me? Of course. Often? Peter Lord said, As often as you want me. She said, Please come. Very often. Ah. So she finds Peter Lord comforting. That's good. Hercule Poirot said, so this is chapter 6. Moving on from the Peter Lord and Elanor moment here. Hercule Poirot said, So you see, my friend, the lies people tell are just as useful as the truth? Peter Lord said, Did everyone tell you lies? Hercule Poirot nodded. Oh, yes. For one reason or another, you comprehend. The one person to whom truth was an obligation and who was sensitive and scrupulous concerning it, that person was the one who puzzled me the most. Peter Lord murmured. Elanor herself? Precisely. The evidence pointed to her as the guilty party, and she herself, with her sensitive and fastidious conscience, did nothing to dispel that assumption. Accusing herself of the will, if not the deed, she came very near to abandoning a distasteful and sordid fight and pleading guilty in court to a crime she had not committed. Fuji. Peter Lord breathed a sigh of exasperation. Incredible. Poirot shook his head. Not at all. She condemned herself because she judged herself by a more exacting standard than ordinary humanity applies. Peter Lord said thoughtfully, Yes, she's like that. Hercule Poirot went on. From the moment that I started my investigations, there was always the strong possibility that Elanor Carlyle was guilty of the crime of which she was accused. But I fulfilled my obligations towards you, and I discovered that a fairly strong case could be made out against another person. Nurse Hopkins? Not to begin with. Roderick Wellman was the first person to attract my attention. In his case, again, we start with a lie. He told me that he left England on July 9th and returned on August 1st, but not Nurse Hopkins had mentioned casually that Mary Gerard had rebuffed Roderick. Wellman's advances both in Medonsford and again when she saw him in London. Mary Gerard, you informed me, went to London on July 10th, a day after Roderick Wellman had left England. When then did Mary Gerard have an interview with Roderick Wellman in London? I set my burglarious friend to work, and by an examination of Wellman's passport, I discovered that he had been in England from July 25th to the 27th, and he had deliberately lied about it. There had always been that period of time in my mind when the sandwiches were on a plate in the pantry and Elanor Carlyle was down at the lodge. But all along I realized that in that case, Elanor must have been the intended victim, not Mary. Had Roderick Wellman any motive for killing Elanor Carlyle? Yes, a very good one. She had made a will, leaving him her entire fortune, and by adroit questioning I discovered that Roderick Wellman could have made himself acquainted with that fact. Peter Lord said, And why did you decide that he was innocent? Here's Suji. Because of one more lie, such a silly, stupid, negligible little lie too. Nurse Hopkins said that she had scratched her wrist on a rose tree, that she had got a thorn in it, and I went and I saw the rose tree, and it had no thorns. So clearly Nurse Hopkins had told a lie, and the lie was so silly and so seemingly pointless that it focused my attention upon her. I began to wonder about Nurse Hopkins. Up till then, she had struck me as a perfectly credible witness, consistent throughout, with a strong bias against the accused, arising naturally enough out of her affection for the dead girl. But now, with that silly, pointless little lie in my mind, I considered Nurse Hopkins and her evidence very carefully, and I realized something that I had not been clever enough to see before. Nurse Hopkins knew something about Mary Gerard, which she was very anxious should come out. Peter Lord said in a surprise, I thought it was the other way around. Ostensibly, yes. She gave a very fine performance of someone who knows something and isn't going to tell. But when I thought it over carefully, I realized that every word she had said on the subject had been uttered with diametrically the opposite end in view. My conversation with Nurse O'Brien confirmed that belief. Hopkins had used her very cleverly without Nurse O'Brien being conscious of the fact. It was clear then that Nurse Hopkins had a game of her own to play. I contrasted the two lies, her and Roderick Wellman's. Was either of them capable of an innocent explanation? Fuji! What is it, Fujika? Fuji was calling me. In Roderick's case, I answered immediately. Yes, Roderick Wellman is a very sensitive creature. To admit that he had been unable to keep to his plan of staying abroad and had been compelled to slink back and hang around the girl who would have nothing to do with him would have been most hurtful to his pride. Since there was no question of his having been near the scene of the murder or of knowing anything about it, he took the line of least resistance and avoided unpleasantness, a most characteristic trait. By ignoring that hurried visit to England and simply stating that he returned on August 1st when the news of the murder reached him. Oh, look at these people. Look at these bachas. Now, as to Nurse Hopkins, could there be an innocent explanation of a lie? The more I thought of it, the more extraordinary it seemed to me. Why should Nurse Hopkins find it necessary to lie because she had a mark on her wrist? What was the significance of that mark? I began to ask myself certain questions. Who did the morphine that was stolen belong to? Nurse Hopkins. Who could have administered that morphine to old Mrs. Wellman? Nurse Hopkins. Yes, but why call attention to its disappearance? There could be only one answer to that if Nurse Hopkins was guilty, because the other murder, the murder of Mary Gerard, was already planned. And a scapegoat had been selected, but that scapegoat must be shown to have had a chance of obtaining the morphine. Certain other things fitted in. The anonymous letter written to Elanor. That was to create bad feeling between Elanor and Mary. The idea, doubtless, was that Elanor would come down. Yeah. She's found something. Elanor had come down and object to Mary's influence over Mrs. Wellman. The fact that Roderick Wellman fell violently in love with Mary was, of course, a totally unforeseen circumstance, but one that Nurse Hopkins was quick to appreciate. Here was a perfect motive for the scapegoat, Elanor. Give me 1 second. But what was the reason for the two crimes? What motive could there be for Nurse Hopkins to do away with Mary Gerard? I began to see a light. Oh, very dim as yet, Nurse Hopkins had a good deal of influence. She's chasing after a bug. Nurse Hopkins had a good deal of influence over Mary. And one of the ways she had used that influence was to introduce the girl to make a will, induce the girl to make a will. But the will did not benefit Nurse Hopkins. It benefited an aunt of Mary's who lived in New Zealand. And then I remembered a chance remark that someone in the village had made to me. That aunt had been a hospital nurse. The light was not quite so dim now. The pattern, the design of the crime was becoming apparent. The next step was easy. I visited Nurse Hopkins once more. We both played the comedy very prettily. In the end, she allowed herself to be persuaded to tell what she had been aiming to tell all along. Only she tells it, perhaps just a little sooner than she meant to do, but the opportunity is so good that she cannot resist. And after all, the truth has got to be known for some time. So, with well feigned reluctance, she produces the letter. And then, my friend, it is no longer conjecture. I know. The letter gives her away. Peter Lord frowned and said, "How, mon cher? The superscription on that letter was as follows: For Mary, to be sent to her after my death." But the gist of the contents made it perfectly plain that Mary Gerard was not to know the truth. Also, the word sent, not given, on the envelope was illuminating. It was not Mary. Do you see? Do you see? Oh, do you see? Oh. But the gist of the contents made it perfectly plain that Mary Gerard was not to know the truth. Also, the word sent, not given, on the envelope was illuminating. It was not Mary Gerard to whom that letter was written, but another Mary. It was to her sister, Mary Riley, in New Zealand, that Eliza Riley wrote the truth. Nurse Hopkins did not find that letter at the lodge after Mary Gerard's death. She had had it in her possession for so many years. She received it in New Zealand, where it was sent to her after her sister's death. He paused. Oh my God. Once one had seen the truth with the eyes of the mind, the rest was easy. The quickness of air travel made it possible for a witness who knew Mary Draper well in New Zealand to be present in court. Peter Lord said, "Supposing you had been wrong and Nurse Hopkins and Mary Draper had been two entirely different people?" Poirot said coldly, "I'm never wrong." Peter Lord laughed. Hercule Poirot went on, "My friend, we know something now of this woman, Mary Riley or Draper. The police of New Zealand were unable to get sufficient evidence for a conviction, but they had been watching her for some time when she suddenly left the country. There was a patient of hers, an old lady, who left her dear Nurse Riley a very snug little legacy and whose death was somewhat of a puzzle to the doctor attending her. Mary Draper's husband insured his life in her favor for a considerable sum, and his death was sudden and unaccountable. Unfortunately for her, though, he had made out a check to the insurance company. He had forgotten to post it. Other deaths may lie at her door. It is certain she is a remorseless and unscrupulous woman." Oh my God. So that letter that proves Mary Gerard's origin was sent to her aunt by her mother / her adopted mother, and that's how she had it. One can imagine that her sister's letter suggested possibilities to her resourceful mind. When New Zealand became too hot, as you say, to hold her, and she came to this country and resumed her profession in the name of Hopkins, a former colleague of hers in hospital who died abroad. Maidensford was her objective. She may perhaps have contemplated some form of blackmail, but old Mrs. Wellman was not the kind of woman to allow herself to be blackmailed, and Nurse Riley or Hopkins very wisely did not attempt anything of the sort. Doubtless, she made inquiries and discovered that Mrs. Wellman was a very wealthy woman, and some chance word of Mrs. Wellman's may have revealed the fact that the old lady had not made a will. So on that June evening, when Nurse O'Brien retailed to her colleague that Mrs. Wellman was asking for her lawyer, Hopkins did not hesitate. Mrs. Wellman must die intestate so that her illegitimate daughter would inherit her money. Hopkins had already made friends with Mary Gerard and acquired a good deal of influence over the girl. All that she had to do now was to persuade the girl to make a will, leaving her money to her mother's sister. And she inspired the wording of that will very carefully. There was no mention of the relationship, just Mary Riley, sister of the late Eliza Riley. Once that was signed, Mary Gerard was doomed. The woman only had to wait for a suitable opportunity. She had, I fancy, already planned the method of the crime with the use of the apomorphine to secure her own alibi. She may have meant to get Elanor and Mary to her cottage, but when Elanor came down to the lodge and asked them both to come up and have sandwiches, she realized at once that a perfect opportunity had arisen. The circumstances were such that Elanor was practically certain to be convicted. Peter Lord said slowly, "If it hadn't been for you, she would have been convicted." Hercule Poirot said quickly, "No, it is you, my friend, she has to thank for her life." I? Oops. I didn't do anything. I tried. He broke off. Hercule Poirot smiled a little. "Ma Sui, you tried very hard, did you not? You were impatient because I did not seem to you to be getting anywhere. And you were afraid too that she might, after all, be guilty. And so, with great impertinence, you also told me the lies. But, mon cher, you were not very clever about it. In future, I advise you to stick to the measles and the whooping cough and leave crime detection alone." Peter Lord blushed. He said, "Did you know all the time?" Poirot said severely, "You lead me by the hand to a clearing in the shrubs, and you assist me to find a German matchbox that you have just put there." Peter Lord winced. He groaned. "Rub it in." Poirot went on, "You converse with the gardener and lead him to say that he saw your car in the road, and then you give a start and pretend that it was not your car. And you look hard at me to make sure that I realize that someone, a stranger, must have been there that morning." "I was a damned fool," said Peter Lord. "What were you doing at Hunterbury that morning?" Peter Lord blushed. "It was just sheer idiocy. I had heard she was down. I went up to the house on the chance of seeing her. I didn't mean to speak to her. I just wanted to, well, see her. From the path in the shrubbery, I saw her in the pantry cutting bread and butter." Charlotte and the poet were there. "Continue, my friend." "Oh, there's nothing to tell. I just slipped into the bushes and stayed there watching her till she went away." Poirot said gently, "Did you fall in love with Eleanor Carlyle the first time you saw her?" There was a long silence. "I suppose so." Then Peter Lord said, "Oh, well, I suppose she and Roderick Wellman will live happily ever afterwards." Poirot said, "My dear friend, you suppose nothing of the sort." "Why not? She'll forgive him. The Mary Gerard business, it was only a wild infatuation on his part. Anyway," Hercule Poirot said, "it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that. There is sometimes a deep chasm between the past and the future. When one has walked in the valley of the shadow of death and come out of it into the sunshine, then, mon cher, it is a new life that begins. The past will not serve. He waited a minute and then went on. A new life. That is what Eleanor Carlyle is beginning now, and it is you who have given her that life. No. Yes, it was your determination, your arrogant insistence that compelled me to do as you asked. Admit now, it is you. It is to you she turns in gratitude, is it not? Peter Lord said slowly. Yes, she's very grateful now. She asked me to go and see her often. Yes, she needs you. Peter Lord said violently. Not as she needs him. Hercule Poirot shook his head. She never needed Roderick Wellman. She loved him, yes, unhappily, even desperately. Peter Lord, his face set and grim, said harshly, She will never love me like that. Hercule Poirot said softly, Perhaps not, but she needs you, my friend, because it is only with you that she can begin the world again. Peter Lord said nothing. Hercule Poirot's voice was very gentle as he said, Can you not accept facts? She loved Roderick Wellman. What of it? With you, she can be happy. Oh, that's it. That was the end. She loved Roderick Wellman. What of it? With you, she can be happy. So he is encouraging Peter Lord to go be happy. Go be happy. Hi, Baji. Baji. Baji's attacking his sister. Baji. Did Cat have a friend? Yes. Oh, look at Baji. Why are you attacking Suji? My friends, we have finished Sad Cypress. All done. Look at that. Last page. We will start a new one next time. A new book. We will have another book. New book next time. Can you believe it? It was that nurse. It was the nurse. Wow. It was the nurse. The New Zealand. The New Zealand nurse who was actually her aunt. Here's Baji. Hi, Ki. Thank you for reading. Happy evening. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We finished Sad Cypress together. We will start a new book next time. We will have lots of fun reading that and hanging out and chatting and catching up. Thank you for being here. Molly, how are you? We can still hang out for a bit. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I can't believe it. We're done with Sad Cypress. We've been reading this book for a few live streams now. And we're done with it. We're done with it. And we know who did it. This is the book we read. Get him manage your business. It was only a wild infatuation on his part anymore. A deep chasm. I love these words. Between the past and the future. When one has walked in the valley of the shadow of doubt, of the shadow of death, when one has walked in the valley of the shadow of death. And come out of it into the sunshine, then, mon cher, it is a new life that begins. You know, that is a very important statement, I must say. Thank you, Molly. I love the book. Yes. You know, we will read more books together, so not to worry. Agatha Christie, thankfully, has written a lot of books, so we will read more of her works together. And they're all really good. I can't wait to read with you some of my top favorite ones. They're all good, but I have my top favorites. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I tell you. I will miss you. Oh, I'll miss you. Well, we will go live again together very soon, in the next couple days. If not tomorrow, probably Tuesday, maybe even tomorrow. So you just have to find us live. Hi, Jaden. Hi, Jaden. How are you? Everybody, we will go live again very soon. And we will read a new book at that time. So not to worry. You can definitely find us. If you subscribe, by the way, and I think you might have to tap on some bell icon or something to notify you of when we are going live. That's all. But pretty much, if you subscribe, and we will go live again. So you don't have to miss us. You'll see us. But this sentence is so very important. When one has walked in the valley of the shadow of death and come out of it into the sunshine, then it is a new life that begins. The past will not serve. That's so true. It's like she went through something really huge and dark. She was accused of murder, for God's sake, you know. So no matter how much she might have loved Roddy, Roddy's not the one who helped her to get out of that awful situation. And honestly, he was actually kind of responsible for putting her in that situation, because he's the one, well, who fell in love with Mary, and that's why their engagement was broken. So she might have loved him a lot, but her new life starts with getting out of that whole situation. She deserves so much better. And Peter Lord is better. So that's great. And he tried lots of things. He even planted some evidence for Hercule Poirot to find, which when he found that German matchbox or cigarette or something, I actually thought that it was probably planted there by Peter Lord. I had my suspicions about that, because it was so obvious, you know, like, look at that. Suji is running around and she's saying hi to Baji. But sometimes, you know, we go through these big things, big bad things, and big tower moment things, and that basically annihilates the old life that one knows to bring in the new. Hi, Mama. With you, she can be happy. Oh. Bye, Molly. Hi, Jaden. See you next time. Please share our live streams with some friends. That would be amazing. We will go live a lot this coming week. It's my birthday week after all. So I think we will celebrate together and we will write. We will write. No, we will read. We will read books together. We will hang out together. We will chat. We will be live with the babas. With the babas. Fuji. Where's Fuji? Fuji. I gave them their snack. I think I'm gonna go get some dinner myself. I'll go get some foodie. Look at Baji. Look at what he's gonna do. Look at, oh my God, they're gonna chase each other. Look at that. Baji tried to chase Suji. And so she ran all the way up. Wow. This is the level of drama that I can handle. Baji, are you trying to surprise her? She's very fast. So I am afraid it's going to be difficult. Look at him. He's basically trying to startle Suji as a game. Is this how we treat our sister? It's a play fight. I know that. Boobly! Suji Boobly! Koto সুন্দর দেখো কত সুন্দর It's a play fight. Baji! Oh my God. Oh my God. You're so tall, Baji. Oh gosh. It's okay, Suji. Oh my God. Wow. They're chasing each other like crazy. The speed at which these people are running, I mean kittens are running. Did you hear that? Did you hear the loud sound of their running and chasing each other? Yep. It's called kitty zoomies. I'm charging my phone. Maybe we'll see more such action, or you'll hear it. Even if they're just running, you'll hear them. Goodness gracious. My word. Hi. Hi, Sadis. Sadis Okurum Fum says, greetings from Turkey. Hi. Very nice to see Turkey represented in the live chat. Love it. Love Turkey. Love Turkey. Molly says, kitty zoomies, yes. Can you believe the level of running that's happening here? Just amazing. They let me finish the book at least. That's good. I mean, I want them to play and be active. That's the point. But we finished the book. We got through it. Even with some kitty zoomies. I'll put the book right here so that you know what we just read, so you can even read it yourself, and you can actually go to the um, you can go to the previous live streams and even, you know, play those and follow along as we read those. And the whole book is covered now with these live streams. So if you go to the past uploads, you'll be able to hear the whole book. You can just let it play while you do other things and have this audiobook playing if you go back to the live streams. Yeah, Molly, if you want to hear the whole story from the beginning to the end, we basically covered it in these live streams. So starting today, if you follow backwards, keep going back a few live streams. Look who's back. Look who's back. This is her favorite chair, so she's come back to her. I was sitting in her chair. So it's actually her chair, so she's back to it. So if you go back, today's live stream, yesterday's live stream, Tuesday's live stream, last weekend, we've covered this whole book from start to finish. So please go and let those videos play in the live, under the live tab in the channel. And that way you can hear the whole book. And you can hear my voice and you can see the kitties in those live streams. That would actually really help the channel too. I think we're trying to have YouTube understand what our content is, and if you leave your thoughts and comments, that would also help a lot. So thank you so much. Enjoy our reading and the cats. Thank you, Molly. Sad Cypress. There we go. আচ্ছা আমরা কি খাবো এবার কিছু নাকি? What do you think, Suji? Baji? Suji, তুমি তো খেয়েছো. You guys got a snack. What should Mama eat now? Shall I go get some Mexican food? What do you think? Closing the window because it's getting cold. আমরা কি এখন খাওয়া দাওয়া করবো? হ্যাঁ সাচি খাবি নাকি? হ্যাঁ তোমাদের ডিনার টাইম কখন? 7:30। এখন তো বাজেনি, তাহলে এখন পাবে না, বুঝেছো? স্ন্যাক খেয়েছো ব্যাস। কিন্তু মাম্মা যাবে, মাম্মা যাবে খেতে। হ্যাঁ কি মনে হয় আজকে কি করা উচিত? সেটা আজকে কি করা উচিত? ঠান্ডা পড়ে গেছে আর ভালো লাগছে না বেরোতে। কি মনে হয় সুচি? I'm charging my phone. I might go get ready. So what I've thought, by the way, about next weekend is, so next weekend on Saturday is my birthday celebration. Even though my birthday is actually on, I think it's on Thursday, 17th. So this month, my birthday is on a weekday. Well, not this month, this year. For a few years now, as you can imagine, my birthday has been on a weekday. So my friends are not going to be available on my birthday day. So my birthday day, I will actually be celebrating with you guys because you will be attending my birthday. And then I'll just go off and do my own thing. I'll probably go to my favorite bakery, get some baked goods, convince them to give me a couple things for free. and come back with this baked items. Then on Saturday, I'm gonna do my live stream like with you guys as usual, like we do. Saturday afternoon, Boston time, evening or night or morning time for all our other friends internationally. So we'll do our live like usual. And then, and then, I will get ready and I will get into my birthday outfit because I have made reservations for dinner on Saturday and I've called a few of my friends there. And I'll get ready. I might even show you my outfit. And then I will go out for this birthday dinner on Saturday. So, all things said, basically, I will see you on both my birthday day and my birthday celebration day. So, you'll be part of this birthday as well. And you might even see I think I'll show you my birthday outfit. Why not? I actually haven't decided. What should I wear? I have a blue suit. Actually, I wore that last year. I wore a blue dress last year. It has a lot of like embroidery on it. It's like a Kashmiri kind of look from India, of course. And I wore that for my birthday dinner last year with my parents. They actually visited me. This year, I haven't decided. What will I wear? Wear your favorite color? Ooh. Well, my favorite colors are pink and black. Used to be just pink. When I was very young, I bought only pink clothes. But then as I got a bit older, I decided that black was also my favorite. So pink and black. I do have a pink colored Indian outfit that I like a lot and that I haven't gotten to wear. It's more festive. I bought it for a wedding and I haven't worn it since. But since it's my birthday celebration, I might just do that. I might wear that. Thank you, Molly. You gave me the idea. Wear your favorite color? Yeah. If I wear that pink outfit, then that's decided. Oh my God. Well, I can't wait to show you then. It's going to be nice. I love that pink outfit. Maybe I'll wear it. It has some matching jewelry. I might wear that with it. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to show you my matching jewelry with it. Let me go get it. Let me show you the earrings so you can get a preview of my outfit. So give me 1 second. I'm excited. I found it. So this is like costume jewelry, but it's really pretty, so I wanted to show you. Look at that. This is the earring. This is the earring that goes with that dress. Or at least I bought this with that dress. And it's so like ornamenty that I don't really get to wear it so often. But I'm thinking I'll just go ahead and wear it. Because it's my birthday. Might as well wear this. Thank you. I got this from, it's just costume jewelry. I bought this from a store in close to Boston. So I found an Indian like dress and jewelry store. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Wait a minute. I think it's called Raj. Is it called Raj? It might be called Raj. It's in Waltham, Massachusetts, close to Boston. I forget exactly the name. I think the owner's name is like Raj something. Like it's a lady. But anyway, that's where I went and I bought a couple of these outfits and then I never get to wear them usually. So thank you, Molly. So this earring is gonna be a part of that outfit that I'm thinking about wearing. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this or not, but I'm thinking about wearing this pink outfit with which this is matching. Well, it's somewhat matching. And I'm thinking that even though this is a pretty decorative outfit, now's the time, because it's a festive time anyway. My birthday's during the, autumnal festive time. So why not? Hi, Suji. So I'm thinking about just going for it and doing that. And once I put this on and I have my outfit ready on Saturday, I'm gonna show you so you can even see my outfit. I'll show you how it looks. It even has another part. See? This is it goes on the head. I forget what it's called in English. It's a tickly. It goes on the head. Somebody, if you know the word, I don't know. It's a part of the set. See? It's all costume, but it's a part of the set. Thank you. Thank you. Molly says adorable. Thank you. This part goes on the head and the other two parts are on the ears. So here's Suji. She loves my jewelry. Look at this. She is interested now in the jewelry. Suji, look. Let me show you with her. Suji also likes this. She's so happy. It goes on your forehead, Suji. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. I might just put this whole thing on for my birthday and go for it, Lots of kisses to Spotty. So, next time, go for it, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Next time, we will do a normal hangout, chill, reading, kitty cats, and then I will also put on all this for my birthday celebration and show you the look on Saturday. But before that, we'll be live again during the week as well. So, Molly, you said your birthday is November 18, right? Or somebody said it was January. Were you November? Your birthday? Yes, November. Yay! Perfect. So yours is coming up too. What are you gonna do for yours? Going to see my mother and my brothers. Oh, wow. That's right. Didn't you say you have 12 cats? That's amazing. Or 9 cats, maybe? Hi, Taylor. So you're gonna hang out with your family and the kitty cats and 2 dogs. Oh, good. Do you not usually get to see them? Are you in like school or work so you can't see them? But either way, I'm glad you'll be seeing them for your birthday. Baji! Alright, I'm gonna go upstairs actually. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom and let the phone keep charging. Taylor said, hey girl. Hey, how are you? I'm just showing my outfit. Part of my outfit for my birthday celebration is what I'm showing along with the book we've been reading. I live with my dad and stepmom. Okay, yeah, I got you. So it'll be nice to see your mom and brother and everybody. I see. So you don't get to see them all the time. So it'll be special for your birthday. We're good. We've been reading this book and I've been talking about my birthday plans. Where are you from? I'm from India originally, but I live in Boston at this time. This is my birthday outfit plans. Thank you for joining. Louisiana. Yay, welcome to Louisiana. We hang out, we chat, we hang out with kitty cats, and we read on this channel. We just finished reading this book. We're just catching up now. Thank you for coming in. We don't really cover politics here, but thank you for telling us your views. Not a very political channel, I must say. Molly, thank you so much for all your chats today and all your comments. You've been most encouraging. Thank you. Oh, look. Baji's interested in the earrings. Hi, Baji. Oh my god, Baji just took the tickly with him. Baji! Baji, Baji, Baji. Oh my god. Did you see that? God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll move the jewelry because Baji is taking a hold of them and carrying it away. He might have thought it was food. He stole your jewelry. He did. He just started. He put this in his. He grabbed this in his mouth and started running away. And then he dropped it. So I got it back from his mouth. Oh my gosh, these kiddos need to be constantly monitored. I can't believe what just happened here. Wow. Right? That's so funny. I think it's because the jewelry is new to him because I don't really wear this all the time. So it's new to them. And so he was like, "What is this? Let me just carry it away." Wow. This channel is just full of such spontaneous moments, guys. Thank you for being a part of these happenings. All right, I have everything. I'm putting it away. 1 earring, 2 earring, 1 tickly. I'm just making sure that Baji didn't steal anything else. He took it and ran with it. Tickly 1, 2, 3. Kayla says, I just remembered I didn't do my homework. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, guys, if you want to timestamp my live stream videos after they get uploaded, feel free. Go for it. Timestamp as in like which time, what chapter starts, or anything you want to add to the comments of my live stream videos. Go for it. Kayla says, I just remembered I didn't do my homework. Molly says, same. So me and my friend called and did it as fast as we can because we got a test of it tomorrow. Oh, you have a test tomorrow. I have history homework. Same. And I have a test. History. So tell us, what are you covering in your history class right now? So what you doing today? I'm in bed, ready to sleep. Seriously, it's such it's a rainy day here. I was thinking, should I go get some food? But it's rainy. I think I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not going out. We're learning about the colonies. Oh, yeah. Whose colonies? Like English, French, Portuguese, or what? What are you doing today? I'm in bed, ready to sleep. So Kayla, you finished your homework. I mean, that's amazing. Congrats. And good luck on your test tomorrow. I can't sleep. I have to hear lots about this amazing life. Thank you for being here still and chatting. That's amazing. It's only 6:21. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm like not feeling like doing much. Maybe I will cook something. Oh, that's right, Kayla. You said you're calling from England. Wait a minute, is that right? Yeah, okay. 5 hours ahead. It just started raining. Yeah, Molly, it's been raining here too. Like well, it was very cloudy. When we started going on the live stream, it was still cloudy. but right now it's raining. It's raining. So it's like wet. It's got really dark now. Yeah. Good night, Kayla. Bye, Kayla. See you next time. But yeah, it gets dark now, by 6 o'clock. I'm in Connecticut. Ooh, North Carolina. I have a connection with North Carolina, and Connecticut is not far. So you're close to me, Molly. I'm in Boston area. It's just slightly north of Boston. So Connecticut is not far. So we're both from New England, Molly. New England, 3 cheers. Yeah, so you know the New England weather. It's like getting dark at 6 or by 6 p.m. It's wet outside. It's a perfect day to just snuggle up with a book, cuddle up with a book, be under blanket, and be with the kitty cats. Good night, says Kayla. Good night. Hope you're live tomorrow. Okay, yeah, we will definitely plan to do that. Molly said, yay. Yay, I love this chat with Molly and Kayla and everybody else. Thank you so much. It's Monday tomorrow. Yeah. Do you have school tomorrow, Molly? Or you said you had a test, right? I might still go live later in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what the weather is like. If it's like rainy and wet and I'm home, then I might go. Then I think definitely will go live. If it's a very nice sunny day, then I might go for a hike. If I'm able to. When I'm like done with my other work and stuff. It's Monday. It's Monday. Let me ask Google. Hey Google, what day is it today?
Today is Sunday, October 13th.
There we go. Put this away. It's Monday tomorrow. I have middle school. I'm going to draw a realistic human. I'm here. I went upstairs to use the bathroom and I started my Roborock upstairs so it will clean. There were a lot of hairs. Look at Suji. He is giving you... Oh gosh. She was giving you all a kiss. She decided to rub against the phone to show her affection. Anyway, upstairs I realized was pretty dirty. So I took out the bathroom garbage and I started the Roborock to have it clean the upstairs, and I cleaned up a little bit. Now I emptied out the garbage. I will probably do a couple chores around here, but we can still hang out. The phone is charging, and here's the book we read, and I will be around. Downstairs, you were talking so long. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay. There is a ton of garbage down here to remove as well. I was thinking about doing dinner. You were taking so long. Yeah. Because I decided to do the garbage and all that from upstairs. I'm thinking of boiling some eggs. What do you think? The thing is, I was gonna go get some food, but I think I'm just gonna stay in because it's like got really dark here and it's raining. So I think it's good I'm doing a couple of chores, like cleaning and getting the garbage out. Even the garbage I have to go out, right? Like it's rainy outside. But still I should do it because there's a ton of garbage to take out. So I'm gonna do that. But then in the meantime, I'm thinking of boiling some eggs. Some eggs. Maybe I'll boil some eggs and make some noodles. And you guys can give me company and we can keep chatting. But maybe I will start that process now. And I can show you the cooking as well. Hi, Suji. So one thing is the kitty cats are very afraid of the noise that the cooking stove thing makes. So sometimes they run away, but then they come back and it's fine. Can I see your face? Yes. Yes, maybe. Maybe I'll show you my face, but you'll see it next weekend for sure on Saturday when I do my outfit. And my face is on some of the videos as well. Yay! Okay. Let me put this garbage down. And take all this out. Hi, Swatchy. Excuse me, please. We're doing garbage time. Garbage. Out. Oh my god. Alright. Keeping it to the side, and then I'm gonna cook. I'll put the new bags upstairs and here. Thankfully, I have lots of plastic bags for the purpose of new garbage. Okay. Kitty cats are giving me company. They always help me in the kitchen. Don't you, Baba? Don't you, Baba? Fuji. Fuji loves plastic bags like this. He wants to investigate them. All right, babies. Now it's gonna be scary when I turn on the stove. Are you ready? You might want to hide. Mama's gonna boil some eggs, okay? It's a scary time when that happens. What's this? What's this? Alright, this pan. I'm sleepy. I might get some sleep. Yeah, take a nap. Take a nap, Molly. Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow, Molly. Good night. See you tomorrow. I wonder if it's gonna rain tomorrow. Oh, I kind of want to go for a walk at least tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Yes. Thank you so much for joining and for chatting. Thank you, everybody. Good night. See ya. Is it gonna rain tomorrow in Boston? Kind of want to take a walk at least tomorrow. Today, I guess I'll walk inside the house. As I'm cooking and cleaning and getting some chores done. We did some reading and hanging out and chatting. And I did a little bit of cleaning upstairs while I do the rest of the cleaning and cooking. Maybe I'll get exercise here in the house, but I want to get some fresh air outside tomorrow. A walk or something. Alright, kiddos. I'll make the eggs now. Sorry if that is scary. as soon as I put the water on the boil, the pot was on the stove. Kitty cats run away. They don't like that noise. Gonna be making these eggs. Along with the eggs. Might just do noodles again. With the eggs. With the eggs. Wow. Water's boiling. Oops. Hey, Fuji.